Welcome to Spring LIB.
So in this problem, this is the trade matrix. For Japan, they can either produce with one worker 5 tons of rubber or 80 radios. In Malaysia, they can either produce with one worker 10 tons of rubber or 80 radios. First thing we have to do is find out who has the absolute advantage in the production of rubber and radios. Absolute advantage is just who can produce more of one good with the same amount of inputs. We have one worker, the same amount of inputs. For radios, if we compare the two, 80 is greater than 40, so Japan has the absolute advantage when it comes to radios. If we compare rubber, 10 is greater than 5, so Malaysia has the absolute advantage when it comes to rubber. So let's just make a note of that. So radio, Japan has the absolute advantage, and rubber, Malaysia has the absolute advantage. Now in part B, we have to find out the opportunity cost of producing 80 additional radios in Japan and Malaysia. So we already know what the opportunity cost of just 80 radios in general is in Japan. So the opportunity cost in Japan would just be 5 tons of rubber. Sorry for the terrible handwriting, 5 tons of rubber. And in Malaysia, the opportunity cost for producing 80 additional radios would be 40 times 2, because that would give us 80, and 10 times 2, so we'd have to give up 20 tons to produce 80 additional radios. 20 tons. So who has the comparative advantage? Because 5 is less than 20, Japan has the comparative advantage when it comes to the production of radios. And now when we're talking about how much it would cost to produce, how much it would cost to, what would the opportunity cost be for producing 10 additional tons of rubber? The opportunity cost in Japan would be, since 10 tons is 5 times 2, it would be 80 times 2, which is 160. So it would be 160 radios. And the opportunity cost in Malaysia would just be 40 radios, because that's what it already costs to produce 10 tons of rubber. So opportunity cost in Japan is 160. The opportunity cost in Malaysia is 40 radios. So because 40 is less than 160, the comparative advantage in rubber goes to Malaysia. So does each country have a comparative and absolute advantage in, or does each country have a comparative advantage in the same product that they have an absolute advantage in? So Japan has an absolute advantage in the production of radios, and they have a comparative advantage in the production of radios. So yes, for Japan. And then for Malaysia, they have a comparative advantage in absolute advantage in rubber. So yes, for Malaysia. So in part E, we just have to figure out in which product each country should specialize in. They should specialize in whatever they have a comparative advantage in. So for Japan, they should specialize in what's it called? Radios. In Malaysia, they should specialize in rubber.